Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I will be showing you my flight pedal board that I just recently put together. This is a pedal board with the Boss ES5 as its main core. And the reason I did this pedal board is that I need a small pedal board because I've been doing a lot of gigs where I have to fly to the gig. So I needed a small pedal board to get in the plane because, you know, if you travel by plane, it's a plane in the ass. I'm so used to get the Boss ES8 and to, with a flick of a switch, change a lot of presets so I can get a clean tone with reverb and tremolo, and then on the second switch I just push it and I have an overdrive with a slapback and a univibe, for example. And the switching system allows me to do that. With the ES8 I have one song per bank, but the ES8 has 100 banks. So I can have 100 songs. I only have like 40 songs programmed. So whenever I go to a gig, if the set list is, for example, song number 3, song number 20, song number 30, I just copy bank number 3 to bank 50. Then bank number 20 to bank 51. Then bank number 30 to bank 52. And I start my gig on bank 50. So I just have to bank up, and that's the next song. Okay. With this, it works a little different because it doesn't have the same bank arrangement. So it has 8 groups, and each group has 5 banks. And each bank has 5 presets. So in order for me to get one song per bank, I had to choose. I had the 4 banks on group number 1. Then I need another almost 40. So I need 40 songs. So I'll have bank 1 is one song, bank 2 is another song, 3 is another song, 4 is another song. Then I have to change group. So I'll be on group 2, bank 1, group 2, bank 2, group 2, bank 3, and so forth. I don't have enough memories to then copy a bank to another. So what I do is I write on top of each song. I know which song is which code. For example, I'll Treat You Good If You Treat Me Bad. It's the first programmed song in here. Is bank number 1 from group 1. And every song starts on preset 1. So it's 1, 1, 1. If I want to go to group 3, bank 3, I just have to go to group 3 and then bank 3, and that's another song. So in order to do that, I pre-programmed, I repurposed the function of the buttons. The mute button is now my group up button. The mute is my group up, so I change groups here. The preset number 5 is my group down, so I can change groups down. When you press bank, this lights come up and it's asking, which bank do you want? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot use 5 because I reprogrammed this to be a bank down. If I press 5, I will bank down. Okay, so I only have 4 banks on each group. Bank, I'm on group 1, so bank 3, for example, and now he's asking me which preset do you want to start. It's always 1. And I'm on Tony, My German Friend, for example, which is 1, 3, 1. It's the code for that song. And that's it. Let me turn on my Lone Star. I'm using the Lone Star because it is a generic amp and I can make it sound like a rental amp. This board is meant to be used with rental amps. I can use it with my own because they sound incredible and they can be used with anything. But if I get amps that I don't know, I have this board because the King of Tone allows me to really shape the tone that I want for my drive, and the OCD really allows me to do the same thing for my solos. So I will start going manually with the pedals I have. I will explain you the pedals. Let me turn off. The M9 is off the loop, so it is always on. The output of my ES5 is going to the M9. So this is always on. Here I have my tuner, which I can tune. Okay, and it is also a mute. Pedal order, I have the Vibe, Roger Mayer Voodoo Vibe TC series. Great vibe. Pedal number 2 is the Octafuzz, Fulltone Octafuzz. And I love it because you can turn off the octave and you have a fuzz. Great. I have one spot. Oh, all the board. This is a Pedaltrain Jr. and all the board is powered by Pedaltrain's power supply, which is a Spark. You've seen me use that on the Nano too, and it is great because it can power the M9 and it can power the ES5. It has enough juice for it. And the Octafuzz, the Fulltone Octafuzz, has a reverse polarity, so it is reversed. The positive is on the center, and I had to buy an adapter from True Tone, the one spot to True Tone, and I bought it so even the Octafuzz is being powered by the Spark. Pedal number 3 is my MVO Custom Electronics Buddaphant, which is a fuzz, very strange fuzz. And I have it set with a fart control in order for when I turn off the volume, it gets really gated and synth. Yeah, this is great pedal. Then on bank number 4 is my OCD, which is my lead tone. And it works really great with the guitar's volume. and it really is touch sensitive. Great overdrive, one of my new favorite overdrives. Then the king of tone. And why do I have two overdrives? Well, three, because the king of tone has another side. I always have the king of tone on the red side, but occasionally I use it with the yellow side, which is a clean boost, for a cleaner. So it makes it louder, but it doesn't change the character of the pedal. But why do I have two overdrive pedals in the same board? Well, I have it because I can stack them, which is not what I do. If I stack it, I usually use the king of tone and then turn the yellow side. And I even thought about just having the king of tone here and having a compressor for my clean tones. But this allows me to have a rhythm overdrive and a lead overdrive. So my king of tone is a lot tighter, a lot less overdriven, and a lot more percussive. And then I still have a boost for solos. The king of tone compared to the OCD almost sounds like a clean amp. And that's what I like about it, because it is a little distorted, not too much. It is in the good fashion of the king of tone. The tone control is incredible, so it allows me to really shape depending on the amp I'm getting it. And the Fulltone, same thing, but a lot more compressed, a little more overdrive, and it has a lot of gain, a lot of volume if I want to. Then we have the 5 pedals here if I want to play it. Then I have an analog delay with modulation, which is my memory man kind of sound. Okay, I have an octave for Tony, my German friend. Which if I use, for example, the Octafuzz. It's almost like the Pog tone on Rival Sons, for example. Then I have my Leslie, my favorite Leslie. Or a tremolo. A slap delay, and a reverb. With this board, I'm using it mono, but I can use it stereo. It has two outputs and the reverb and the delays are stereo. So it will make a great, and the Leslie is incredible in stereo. Okay, how I use it? I use it on preset mode. And for example, here we have Tony, the intro for Tony, my German friend. I'm using the ES5 as an expression pedal for the M9. So via MIDI, I'm changing the presets that are on, but I'm also changing the amounts of effect. For example, I can change the delay time because I have a tap tempo here. I have it set, each preset has its step. I have a control for the wet and dry, the amount of feedback on the delays, the wetness on the reverb, the mix on the reverb. I can turn the Leslie fast or slow, all with one button. So for the first tone, for example, on Tony, my German friend, I have the MVO Buddaphant going to the OCD, then an octave and a slapback. For the intro, I just have the king of tone and the octave and the slapback. Okay, then the band comes in and I go. And then for the solo, I turn off the octave here and leave the rest. And I can even go into the mixer and use a little clean boost. For example, so I can boost it, and that's it. Then, for example, if I have bank number 1, preset 1 is I'll Treat You Good intro. I've changed the delay time because I have a different preset here, a different set tempo. So I have the Voodoo vibe going into the Octafuzz, going into a 1 repeat delay. Then for the preset number 2, I turn off the Octafuzz, I turn off the delay, and turn on a slapback. So all with the button. And then I have a drive coming in for the end. Which is the king of tone. Preset bank number 2, it is I've Been Down. So it engages the Leslie and a little reverb. Then I have my drive for a solo. And that's it, 2 presets. Bank number 3, it's Tony, we've already done it. Bank number 4, it's Blue Town, where I start with a reverb and a clean tone. Bank number 2, I turn on the overdrive. The OCD, that cleans very well. The OCD almost cleans like a fuzz face, which I really love. So now we have to change group. I'm going to group 2. Preset. Bank 1 is Will to Live. No fancy Schmidt. This is for Verdes Anos, which is a cover we did from a Carlos Paredes song. So this, I use the OCD engaged, but I use the volume on the guitar to make it clean. I've changed the delay and the wetness on the reverb, so it's very wet. Goes from this to that. Then I have a part that I play with a fuzz, very overdriven. And the vibe at the end with a very spaciousness. So here I have, for example, I Want to Please My Baby, the intro, which is very spacious with a vibe, the octave, reverb, and delay tapped to the tempo of the song. This is very me. Then, preset number 2, I just back off. I turn off the reverb and back off the blend from the delay. And the beauty of this is that if I want to press, for example, the looper, I can just record an empty thing, and now I can do a swell. Now that I have this, I can turn it half speed and it will be very dark. Okay, so it has this tone, which I really love. Let me check other banks that are cool to show. So let's turn off. This has a reverb and a tremolo, super glue. This is the drive. And then an interesting part comes on, which is the Octafuzz with the Octavant, a little slapback. Okay, and then the end with a very lush reverb. A reverb and a very long delay, which is the same delay preset but changed via the S5. This is a great tool. For It Hurts Me, I have a very wet scenario with tremolo, long delay, long reverb. And I have it set with a little boost of 6 dBs, not a little, a boost of 6 dBs. And for the guitar solo, I take off the delay and back off a little bit on the reverb. And turn on the King of Tone. So this is a great thing. I turn off 2 pedals, turn on the King of Tone, back off the reverb with just one switch. I think you get it, how I get my tones, why I really love the Boss ES5. This is not meant to be a video about the Boss ES5, but of course, if you want me to go really deep into it, please let me know. I will try to show you how to do some basic stuff and some very complicated stuff. But I think this is just to show you how I did it. I use all Evidence Audio plugs and cable, except for this one, which is a lava, because it's here and the lava plug is a little smaller, and it really made the difference, so the pedal could fit here. Otherwise it couldn't. But these Evidence cables are great, solderless, so perfect for a guy like me that doesn't know how to solder. Well, that's it. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and share it with the world. We'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.